Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here with a YouTube Hop video. I'll have a link to everybody that's participating in the YouTube Hop. It is for Scrapbook Generation and it is a 6x6 challenge, I guess, to use some 6x6 pattern papers to make your layout. Now, I just went into my stash and I had done a page kit a couple months ago using 6x6 pattern papers, so that worked out really good. I just grabbed that paper kit, so all my embellishments are already chosen for me. My pattern papers, the only thing I added was a brown cardstock because then I can mount my photos. I also grabbed some pictures. I don't know which one I'm going to use, but I'm going to be using these 6x6 to form my background. And then I'll use this to mount my photos. I don't know how many photos I'm going to take or the size. I'm just going to start with the background and then we'll go from there. I don't know if I'll do the whole thing real time or if I'll do a voiceover at some point. I guess it just depends on my voice. Okay, I'm going to start with 5.5 by 5.5. Like, you don't have to keep the pattern paper to the 6x6 size as long as you start it with a 6x6. And I just want to do one of my favorite ways to do backgrounds or to use my 6x6 pattern paper is I make some blocks on the background. So 4 blocks. It depends, like sometimes I'll make them 4x4, 3x3, and I just make a background. So every time I do this, I just change up the size that I do the background. This time I think I'm going to go 5x5. And the reason I start with 5x5 is I can go smaller. I can't go bigger. So once I cut it, I'm kind of committed to that size or smaller. So that's why I want to start with 5x5. 6x6, it would cover the entire background. And I don't want that because I want to be able to see that wood grain in the background for sure. So by cutting it down to 5.5 by 5.5, I'm making sure that I get to see that background. And I want to know if this is enough or if I'm going to cut this down to 5x5. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take off that branding strip. And then I won't have to worry about that. I won't have to move stuff around and move stuff around. And I decided to go with these pictures because they're outdoorsy pictures. And to me, that kind of reminded me of outdoor because of the wood right here and the wood grain. So, and I'm going to put one yellow here, one yellow there, and then kind of a brownish kind of opposite just to kind of spread it out. Now this is the part that I don't know. I think I'm going to start at 8x8 with this. So just by changing the size of, you know, the size of the 6x6 and then changing the size that you're going to make your mat totally changes the look. How about if I start with 9x9? Because again, I can't go bigger, but I can go smaller. So we'll start with 9x9. 9x9 is not normally a size that I'll go for. It's normally 10 or 8. So we're going to change it up. I kind of like that. And then I'll be able to put, if I do 4x4 pictures, I should be able to do four pictures. So that'd be good. That's a nice amount of pictures. See, I don't know if this one I can go down to 4x4 because it cuts down a lot of the background. But that's the great thing about digital pictures is that I can print those again. So even if I don't like how, you know, how it looks, I can just put the picture aside and then use it, you know, print it again and use it on another layout. Let me see. I can maybe cut a little bit here. But if I, to bring this down to 4, that's cutting my whole head off. If I go here, that's 4 3/4. And then how much can I cut off here? I have to almost cut my husband's face right off. Okay, let's see if there's another picture. Okay, so I like this one. Let's see if we can. I think I'd like to keep him just to show how tall he is. So I think I'm going to cut it all on one side. And up here, it doesn't really matter. You can still see the water and everything. So I'm going to keep that like that. I like this waterfall. I can maybe cut, because there's people up there. We'll cut those off. And then there's a lot of rocks here. Did I cut that crooked? Lately, I am horrible at cutting my pictures. I keep cutting them crooked, and I think it's because I don't pull this up all the way, and I don't push my picture all the way to the back. So it's a user issue for sure. Oh, and this one I can cut to 4x4, me and Mason. Maybe like that. I'd like to keep a lot of the waterfall in the back. Let's see if there's another picture of the 3 of us. There isn't. Okay. I wonder. Just wondering if there's one of the pictures, if I could make it a little smaller and this one make it a little bigger. Let's see what size I can make this. Like, there, that's the most I can take off this side. So yeah, 4.5 is, see, I'm crooked again. Come on, girl. There. I think 4.5. Is the smallest I can make this. So it means if I could take 1/2 inch, the pictures are not going to be totally equal. I'm okay with that. So I'm going to cut this down to 3.5. And then the pictures will be all together like a puzzle. And I'm okay with that. I think I'm going to go look for a yellow cardstock to mount my photos. So then it'll be yellow, brown, and then the background. Okay, that's a little bright, but I'm not going to show a lot of the pictures. So I'm okay with this. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to have the link to everybody that's participating in the hop. There is a ton of people. I'll have the link to Scrapbook Generations in the description box below also. It's an online store. They have a ton of scrapbooking supplies, especially if you're in the States. You know, you get free shipping and that kind of stuff. And they have sketches, sketchbooks. Oops. But they do have a lot of different supplies, which I like. All my Doodlebug alphas, that's where I got them all years ago. And I have quite a few of their sketchbooks. I've bought the sketchbooks, and I've also bought like those packages that you can buy, like digital packages. I've done that too in the past. There we go. Oh, I like that. That's really makes it almost like makes like a zoom. What did I do with that now? There it is. Okay, I think I'm going to get some brown ink, and I'm going to ink the edges of everything. So I had Janet contact me. She'll be the first one on the list to see if I wanted to be part of the YouTube hub. And I was like, oh, absolutely. And it's been like a really busy month and everything. So anyway, yesterday I was like, oh my gosh, that's tomorrow or in 2 days. And which, I mean, I still have plenty of time, but I'm glad I didn't forget because, oh, I would have been really upset if I would have forgot. She did send a reminder email, but I had thought about it before. I was like, oh my goodness, that's this weekend. But like I said, it's been such a crazy month. But I wanted to do that. One, I think it's fun to participate in YouTube hops. And two, I've, been kind of not uploading on YouTube for the entire month of October because of my crazy schedule. And so I wanted to kind of get back into it anyway. So I uploaded a video yesterday, one tomorrow, and then, Monday. I'm going to be doing the Monday, Wednesday, Friday thing again, and might even try to do a little bit more because I kind of lacked in October. I got to catch up on my mini album of the books I read in 2019. So next week I'm going to be catching up on that. So there'll probably be at least one video for that next week. And then, so I've inked this. I'm ready to glue it down because I don't like when the pattern paper or whatever my background is just going all over the place. Of course, my ATG ran out. I might stop the video and replace it, but I'm going to go till the end of this one. If I can finish the layout with this, I will. I just have a bunch of those that I used to use in the past, and I just want to make sure I use what I have, right? So whenever I run out of ATG, I usually try to use one of these because I want to make sure I use my stuff. Use everything that I have. Oh, I keep grabbing for this. I'm just so used to it. There we go. I have 2 ATG guns, and I usually have the other one filled up so that if that happens, I just grab the other one. But I was having trouble with the ATG refill in that other gun, and I've never fixed it. So I need to do that. Fix it, and then I'll have that ready. The thing with this is I'm not going to have a lot of room for embellishments, and that's okay. I love that I have this many pictures. I mean, I'm still going to have some room. There we go. Don't need that. Now I have this down. Now I'm going to look at everything that I have here. And, ooh, I like that. I like that little owl. And I just got to figure out, okay, where am I going to do some of my embellishments? Probably right here in the center. I like that, let the sun shine in, but it's huge. Maybe I can put it up here. Maybe. So I'm making sure that I'm not equal with my embellishments, that there is some degrees off. Like I try to avoid this. Sometimes it happens and I just notice as I'm editing the video, I'm like, oh, girl, you are equal with, you know, the other one. But I'm like, oh, well, it is what it is. Not every layout is going to be completely perfect, and that's okay. I think we put too much pressure on ourselves to have perfect layouts. There is no need of that. It's fun. It's relaxing. You're, you know, doing your memories. You're documenting your memories. For me, a big part is I find it relaxing. And is that crooked? I feel like I'm crooked on everything. I think I'm going to use that behind the owl. Oh, I love this flower, but it's so big. Okay, I'll have to decide, do I want the flower or do I want this? Decisions. I'm definitely going to cut this in half, and then I can use this up here. And then I'm looking at everything else too. I can, you know, make sure I cut stuff in half. And it's not because I'm afraid of running out of embellishments in my craft room. It's more that I want to make sure that the embellishment clusters go together. So I have this big yellow flower. Well, I want to make sure that I have yellow in the other embellishment clusters. I have this tan tag. Well, I don't have enough to go around, so I'm going to have to make sure that I use something else that's tan in this embellishment cluster. I'm not sure how I'm going to put that in there, but I'm going to. And then, you know, this thing here too, where I have kind of a banner here, I'll try to fit the banners on the other embellishment clusters. I'll probably put a couple maybe under the flower like that. And then maybe I can do the circle, put it in a couple. Oh, I have another banner. I have another bird, but I don't know. I think I'm going to use the owl. I'm okay with that. If one of the embellishment is, you know, one is different from the others, I'm okay with that. I like this. I like words for my embellishment clusters. So our favorite thing to do. Oh, I love that, because it is one of our favorite things to do. Go hiking, find some waterfalls. Love that. Okay, I have another little flower that I can put in one of these. I don't know if I'll be able to fit these big buttons. That's okay. I always put way more than I can fit on a layout. And it's just to give me options. We all like options, right? Okay. I'm looking for... Oh, there it is. It fell in my drawer. Okay. So I gotta make sure. See, I almost went there, but then I remembered that that was up there. So I'm gonna start with this embellishment cluster at the bottom, and I'm just gonna start building up. The thing that I try to do for my embellishment cluster or clusters is I try to pack as many things as possible. And by doing that, you make your embellishment clusters fuller. And I find that I like my embellishment clusters a whole lot better. I find that when I don't put a lot of embellishment in my cluster, I find that my embellishment clusters are like kind of anemic, you know? They need a little bit more. So always try to kind of beef them up. I don't know. Yeah, I'll put over top. I'm going to make sure that I use that same ink just to cover the white edge of all. I'm going to put that little birdie. There we go. Put that little birdie right there. Don't think I'm going to put anything on foam. A lot of times I try to put stuff on foam core, or foam tape, not foam core. But I think today I'm just going to do it flat. I don't have any enamel dots either, so I'll have to find some of those. I try to put some enamel dots on almost every single layout. Just because I have so many, I'm trying to, again, make sure that I use what I have. This I find is kind of wide, so I'm just going to cut it down. Just so that it's not so wide and fits better on my embellishment cluster. It's kind of white too, so I'm making sure to distress it so that it fits better with my layout, because it was kind of bright compared to everything else. Everything else it's not cream, but it's not bright white either. Okay, so let's start this as my embellishment cluster. I don't have any place for journaling, but I've done so many layouts of that day. I feel like I'm good. Should I put that so it goes on the bottom like this? Yeah, and then I can, wasn't there another one? Yes. We'll put the yellow one beside it. So every cluster kind of has two of those banners. No, this one is not sticky. So we'll make it sticky. Like that. I can't remember if I inked the edges, so I'm just going to do it again. I'm just going to pull it up a little bit just so we have two different height. Not much is going to stick out, but I'm okay with that. I'm going to push the owl a little bit in, I think. And then I'm going to put some of these above just to finish that embellishment cluster. I'm going to put that little flower just because there's flowers in the other two. I want to keep my cluster consistent. And then I'm going to take some wet glue for this guy. And I'm going to glue him down. In this bottle I have some quick dry adhesive. And I just have it in a fine tip glue bottle. Just because I found with the quick dry adhesive, it's really hard to get fine glue. Like it'll come out in blobs. So with this, it comes out nice and thin. Just put some all over. And then we're going to glue them right there. Then I have this little word. It says snapshot, which, you know, those are snapshots. I'm going to put it right over the owl. Okay, so my phone rang. Had to answer my phone. My phone literally never rings. Every time I start filming, my phone rings. It's like they know. Okay. There. Oh, there's these two that I wanted to put there. So there's the butterflies. I don't know if I'm going to put them because I have quite a bit of stuff there on each. But we'll see. Oops. Rip that flower. Not good. See, when I don't take the stickiness away, then when I just glue the sticker right down, if you got to lift it, then you got issues. That's another reason to take the stickiness away. Then it's easier to handle after. Okay, so that's done. I want to put, oops, summertime on that one. This is a clear sticker, so I don't need to ink the edges because we're not going to see it anyway. Just going to put it over the flower, the same as everything else. Put the little birdie right there. I know, like this, I mean, the owl's a bird too, right? So it's all good. So I didn't know if I was going to use the birds or this. So it was an either or kind of thing. So I won't be using that. Same with the butterflies. It was either the birds or the butterflies. I think it's just like too much. So we won't use that. I love using arrows. I use arrows on almost every layout. I only have one. I'm okay with that. I won't use that star either. I won't use that. It's too much. I won't use that. So the only thing left is some enamel dots. So let me grab, and I see yellow. Is that yellow or green? I don't know. Looks more green than yellow. Let me see if I have any more yellows. See that too. That's green. But it's like a yellow green. I have this drawer too. Let's see if I have some yellow in there. I haven't bought any enamel dots in like forever. I'm just trying to do with what I have and try to use up. So even if the color is not perfect, which I was really bad for, like, you know, it had to be the perfect, the perfect yellow. Now, if I wouldn't have been able to find those, I would have just used the next best one. I'm trying to use what I have before I get more stuff. There. So that's done. I don't think I'm going to put some, usually I put some mist. I think I will. Means I need a lot of containers to cover those. Only 4 containers. I keep these that I get embellishments in, and I use those to cover photos when I'm doing inking. And I gotta find a brown mist. This is by Shimmer's Colorings Chocolate Brownie. And I'm going to just add a little bit of, okay, so the only thing, I'm not going to put a title on this. I'm okay with no title. I'm okay with no journaling. You don't have to put a title or journal on every page. But one thing that you should do is put the date, because I don't know how many times, like whenever I scrap the pictures, I always remember when it is and the year and everything. If I look at this a year from now, I'll forget. Even though this was taken, you know, not this summer, last summer. It was June of 2018. You know what? How about if I instead do a stamp? So then July, I mean, not June. So I'm just gonna, I don't know what date it was, but I know it was July. And I'm just gonna use the same ink. I'm trying to figure out where I could put the date. I'm just gonna put it here next to, and I'm gonna double stamp it. Okay, so that's it. That's going to complete this layout. Don't forget, this is a YouTube hop, a 6x6 YouTube hop for Scrapbook Generations. I'll have all the info down below, all the people that are participating. There's a ton of awesome YouTubers, so make sure you go check them out. And I'll have the link for Scrapbook Generations for their store in the description box below. And I want to thank you so much for watching. Bye.